Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing another video in my collection video series, and today we will be going through my single potted eyeshadows and pigments. And I guess there's some glitters in here too, to be honest. And I hope that it sounds like something that you're interested in. I love collection videos, and I also love doing my collection videos. And it's been a while since I have done a full collection video series on my channel. So over the next several weeks, we will be going through products in my collection so that you guys can see my whole collection, hopefully by the end of let's say July or August. I've got a lot of different sections in my collection. So today we'll be going through these. Again, these are my single eyeshadow pots, like Super Shock shadows, the single eyeshadows that come in pots. So like I differentiate them that way. My single eyeshadows are in like eyeshadow books, and we'll go over those also, but I have way too many of those to swatch. These ones, you're in luck, I will probably also be swatching. And I do hope that sounds like something that you're interested in, something that you want to watch. And I hope that you'll find that you like this channel enough that you'll want to subscribe before you go. With that said, for those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I know that you can't see my lovely face, but I'll stick a picture up here for you. I am a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry as a district leader for Ulta, and I get a lot of items into my collection through that. So what I try to do is less hauling and more using my stuff. I hope that my channel sounds like something that will soothe your soul as much as it does soothe mine. And if it does, I hope that you'll want to subscribe before you go. And with that said, let's roll into this collection video. I actually have 3 shadows that are in my Shop My Stash. So I'm just gonna put these over here and kind of go through them as I go through their counterparts within this collection video, but I'm keeping them separate because they belong in my Shop My Stash drawers and I don't want to mix them up. Let's just barrel on through. So I'm gonna just move these over and we're gonna do these ones first. So let's go through Super Shocks. These Super Shocks have been in my collection for quite some time, actually. I think I haven't placed a ColourPop order except for lip liners, I think last Christmas, but other than that, like 5 years, easy. This one is in the shade Ladybird, and this is actually still really, really, really moist. That is the shade Ladybird, and it is just so pretty. It's so glittery, but also not like fall all over your face glitter, which is the kind of glitter that I love. I do love Super Shocks because they have the pretty sparkle and the wonderful prettiness that you want in an eyeshadow without being a fall all over your face one. This one is in So Quiche, and this one is actually in my project pan. And you guys can see I have pan on it. This one is actually pretty dry, but it still performs really, really well. It's kind of got a little more of a lavender feel to it, honestly, on the eye. This one is drier, so it will probably, once it's not in my project pan anymore, I probably honestly will need to get rid of this because it's falling apart. And that's one of the things with Super Shocks that a lot of people don't love is they dry out really, really quickly. So this one is in the shade Special Delivery, and I kind of loved this one because it was just a really pretty mint. And I have this one, which is in the shade Cricket. This one is really dry, but it still performs really well. Beautiful purple with kind of like a gold shiftiness to it. This one is kind of a red one, and it is in the shade Porter. Look at how beautiful, like brick red that is. Such a pretty, pretty color. That one feels pretty nice. This one is in the shade Truth. I close them so tight because I don't want them to dry out. This one feels pretty dry. I mean, it's even moving around in the pan. And that one is kind of blah. Like, I just don't feel like I need that. I mean, it's definitely my skin tone. I don't feel like I need this one. This one is in the shade Donna, and this one will never go anywhere, even if it is dry, because look at how beautiful that shade is. but also it's my name. It does feel like it's pretty. Oof, look at how beautiful that is. Look at that green. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but my favorite color is green. So the fact that this one is called Donna, its name is Donna, and it's a green shadow, I couldn't not get it, number one. And number two, I don't know where I was going with number two. I think these two would look beautiful in an eye look together. Yes. All right, this one is called Lala, and it feels pretty dry too. It's also moving around in the pot. Ooh, look at how pretty that is though. Such a really pretty kind of like peachy gold. I think honestly, the more matte ones are drier than the shimmery ones. This one is in the shade Ripple. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, this has pan. I guess I didn't realize that this had pan. But look at how pretty. Do you guys see the pan on that? Yes. So pretty. It's kind of like this really vibrant lavender with like some blue shimmer in it. So pretty. And then this one is in the shade Valley Girl. I loved this one for a long time too. That one still feels really good too. I feel like most of those are really nice. I might get rid of that. This one definitely felt dry, so it is gone. Maybe I'll just keep the rest of them and kind of try and find their way into my Shop My Stash so they get more use. Maybe look at decluttering some more of them, but those are my Super Shock shadows. So then we have this bento box by Kaja. I have to be honest, you guys, I know that these were all the rage way back when, but I didn't really feel like they were all that. So this is the bento box by Kaja. I mean, that is a pretty deep, like maroony shade for sure. So that's that. I think maybe I'm gonna give this another try because I just don't know why I haven't used this all that much, but I also think that they are super pretty. This is the Kaja Bento Box in Sparkling Rose. So all three of these in this one are, you know, shimmery, but I haven't gotten much usage out of those because I made myself believe I didn't like them. But looking at them, looking at the swatches, they're actually quite pretty. I just have some one-off things that I got in like BoxyCharms or IPSYs. So this one is by Inmo Beauty and it's called Super Base. It's one of their Velveteen Cream shadows. And this one has always been kind of dry, but look at how pretty that is. Like, I just feel like that is a really pretty, like light pink, beautiful shadow. And then I have these two from Space Case. I also believe I got these in an IPSY. I have a quad by Space Case that I got from IPSY too that I quite like. This one is in Alien Love. This one reminds me of the Super Shock that we just looked at in Ripple, but maybe not quite as pretty in my opinion. It's not quite as opaque. It's a lot more sheer. These ones aren't quite as moist either than the Super Shocks. And then this one is in the shade Intense Stargasm, and that is what it looks like. And I really just kind of love, it's like almost grayish, like a purple gray silver of it. And then we have these two by Luna by Luna, and these also came to me in an IPSY. These look exactly the same until you put them on, but one is in the shade Juliet and one is in the shade Celine. I was gonna get rid of these like twice and then elected to keep them, but I'm almost positive that I do not need these in my collection. So this one here is Juliet and this one here is Celine. And I mean, they're pretty, but like I also feel like they're really dry, and I also feel like they help to exacerbate texture. And being a 45-year-old lady, I do not need anything exacerbating the texture on my eyes. So I do think that I am going to declutter these as well. Then I have these two from Suva Beauty. These also came to me in an IPSY. I have Turmeric, which is the kind of gold one, and then I have BBQ, which is the kind of purple one. I haven't even swatched these yet, so let's swatch them. This one is BBQ, and that actually is really freaking pretty. I need to use these more. I just have a hard time with my single shadows, if I'm honest. And then this one is turmeric. Again, you can see I haven't even used it yet, swatched it, nothing. I do love that you can build these up and get a bigger opacity from them, but at the same time, I like one swipe, one and done kind of eyeshadows. I'm wondering if I will ever wear something like this. Okay, listen, I'm gonna hold on to it because I have it already. I've swatched it. There's really no reason for me to get rid of it at this point. So I am gonna keep it. This is one of my favorite things in the world, and this is a Moon Dust Shadow by Urban Decay. This is in the shade Solstice, and you guys, like, this is just so pretty and so easy to use. Do you see that? Like, why is that so beautiful? Like, Moon Dust Shadows from Urban Decay are where it's at. I'm just saying. And then I have this one by NARS. This I actually got at TJ Maxx, and it was like $3 for this NARS single shadow, and it's beat up. It's so dirty. I love that it has a little mirror in here. This is the shade. How pretty is that? It's just such a beautiful purple. I look at these purples on my arm right now, swatched out on my arm, and I think that that can make a really lovely eye look. I also have this one by Mellow, and this is in the shade Olive. This is one of their baked eyeshadows. This is actually really pretty. I love this so much. And look at that olive green. That is just so gorgeous. I love this baked eyeshadow so much. I've used it a handful of times, not as much as I should, but it is just a really pretty, and it brings something different to an eye look. And then we have these ones in here, and this one is a Tarte eyeshadow that came to me through a Tarte Make Your Own kit. This is a Tarteist metallic shadow, and it is in the shade Whiskey. And when this came to me, it was so shattered. So I repressed it, and I think it did a good job. It seems to be staying in place. I've worn it a couple times. It kind of reminds me of this shadow up here. Maybe a little bit darker and a little more like bronzy. And I like bronzy more than I like copper penny. This is definitely more of a bronze, and it's just so pretty. Then we have this one. This is by Glamour Dolls x Lisa Frank, or Lisa Frank x Glamour Dolls, something along those lines. This is just a matte eyeshadow. It's in the shade Heartthrob, and you know, when I think about what's in here and what I'm going to pull for, this is probably not something I'm ever going to pull for, is a matte eyeshadow from my singles. So this will probably end up going, but it is also just kind of a plain Jane kind of color. It's like this warm brown tone with kind of like a red kick to it, but I just don't know that I need this. Like, I think about what I have in my collection, and I think I probably have this matte eyeshadow over and over again in my collection, and I have never, I think maybe twice, I have reached for this in the many years it's been in my collection. This was something that I got from IPSY when I first started IPSY, and I was part of IPSY for like 5 years. So I am going to declutter that. Next I have this one. This is by Il Maquillage. Both of these are actually, and I got these also in an IPSY. And I'm actually happy to have these in my collection because they are like really stout, really beautiful eyeshadow singles in this like really beautiful metal component. And look at just how pretty this brown is. I feel kind of luxe holding on to them, if I'm honest. So this one is one of their Color Boss eyeshadows, and it is in the shade Newsflash. Let's swatch it. Let's swatch it up here. Oh, look at how pretty. I mean, I don't see that color anywhere on my arm, and that's just the thing. Like, I don't see any repeats of single eyeshadow colors on my arm. That is just so pretty. I love that. And then I have this one, which is another one of their Color Boss eyeshadows, and it is in the shade Jackpot, and it is just a really beautiful green. Look at that. That's like money. No wonder it's called Jackpot. there's those. We've got some really beautiful single shadows here. I feel really good about the 4 that I got rid of and what's still in my collection as far as single potted eyeshadows go. These 2 I got rid of. I also got rid of this one, and I also got rid of one of the ColourPop shadows that also didn't really have any kind of color story to it. These are by Smith & Colt. Smith & Colt is strategically placed in some Ulta Beauties and not in others. These are their glitter shots, which are considered all over glitters, so not eye safe. And you can see, hopefully, why they're not eye safe. The glitters in these are giant. I mean, if you're safe, you can do what you want, right? I'm afraid of glitter, but here's what I will say. These are stunning for like body glitter. Like, I mean, just look at how pretty that is. It's got a little bit of a pinkiness to it and also some really big flecks of glitter. They're kind of like petroleum jelly-like in their feel. That is the blue one. So the pink one is a little bit less offensive if you're offended by glitters. The blue one looks like that. I mean, there's obviously not a giant color base to them, but they do kind of like this one. When I look at it on the screen, it does look blue, and this one does look pink as the light hits it. Look at the glitter, just goes everywhere. They're definitely not the kind of glitters that you want to wear on your eyes, but I keep them up here with my single eyeshadows because I will wear them on my décolleté or my cheek or something like that, and this is how I remember that they're in my collection, if I'm honest. So the next set of single eyeshadows or potted single eyeshadows that we'll go through are these ones here. And these are pigments. We have some more pigments here, and then these are the KVD Metal Shocks. And then these are the kind of glitters that I do like to wear on my eyes, besides if they're not loose-ish glitters, if they're not like steelers. So I'm going to do this one first because this is the pigment that's in my stash right now. And this is in the shade Ripples, and this is by Sydney Grace. You know, here's the thing. I'm not a super fan of pigments. And I think the biggest reason why is because I don't really necessarily 100% get it. When I swatch these and tell you they're beautiful, they are. I don't know how to use them appropriately. Like, do you just like put them on your skin like this, or do you use a pigment primer? Like, if you are one that uses pigments all the time, how do you use them? This is in Ripples. It is a beautiful like champagne-y color, but it's also got kind of a pink and blue flip to it. The problem is when I put these pigments on my eyes, I don't get that same effect. So how are you using pigments? Please help a girl out. All right, so then I also have all these pigments. These Bare Mineral ones have legitimately been in my collection for probably 12 years. They just don't go bad. They just keep working and keep working. And I have decluttered, I think, 2 of them since starting like a Shop My Stash series because I just didn't love the colors of them. So that's all pigments. So I'm just going to pull one at a time. This one is the Bare Minerals one in Vanilla Sugar. If I remember correctly, this one was one of my favorites for a long time. Here's the true tea about this stuff too, is that loose eyeshadows make such a damn mess. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it is just like this perfect like light peachy sheeny eyeshadow. Oh my god, it's just so pretty. It's so plain. I don't know why I love this one so much, but I do. This one is in Soft Focus Explorer. I think this is just like a brown, and if it's just a brown, we'll probably get rid of it because there's just no reason for me to keep it. I don't think this is extra special. I don't think that this is something that I necessarily need to keep in my collection. So I do think I am going to get rid of this one. Let's look at this one. This one is in the shade Treasure Island. Look at that. Just a beautiful like olive with a gold kick to it. I need to use that more. That is so pretty. I just don't think that I have like this antique grungy green in my collection. And we have this one, which is in the shade 1990s, and I might just keep this one for shits and giggles. The 90s? Oh, that one's pretty. All right, so this one is like a blackened glittery purple. We're keeping that. Okay, this one is in Peach Puff. This one's kind of pretty. Okay, that one is kind of plain. I don't know if I love that. I think it's just really, I mean, it doesn't have the sheeniness that this one does up here. It's just kind of like another matte, and I just don't know if I need it. I'll hang on to it for a little while longer. We'll see. I think it'll fit. I think it won't fit. Okay, let's look at this one. This one is Fashionista. I don't know about this one, you know. Okay, here's what we're doing. Again, another brown. We're gonna get rid of that one. Okay, we're gonna keep the peach, but we're gonna get rid of that brown too. At one point in time, I had 12 of these in my collection. So the fact that I'm down to 4, like, makes me feel like happy, I think, in a way. Okay, this is by MAC, and this is a MAC pigment in the shade Chartreuse. This is one of my favorite pigments to wear on like the inner corner of my eye, but I have to be honest, I feel like it's just kind of a pain in the ass to use. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it, dump it all out. Oh God, how beautiful is that? Like, I have to dump it out onto something. Like, is this normal for MAC pigments? I feel like they should come in a bucket like this guy does, or in a pot like these guys do. Look at how pretty that is. But having to like do that 500 times on my finger almost makes me not want to keep it, because it's kind of a pain in the ass to use. This one is by Jelly Pong Pong Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Pulsar, and this was in my Shop My Stash recently. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. This is truly a beautiful pigment. This one is by Meech and Mia, and it is in the shade Beige. I just don't understand why it's called beige. I mean, nothing about the shadow looks beige. So we're going to swatch it. Nothing about that shadow looks beige. It reminds me of a better version of this shade up here, which is another reason why I should get rid of that. I should just get rid of that. Let's get rid of it. Peach Puff. Out you go. This is a loose pigment by Sydney Grace in the shade Rhyme. Okay, ready? Oh my God, so pretty. That is such a beautiful, like, it almost looks like fibers of silvery gold. That's wet. And that's why they tell you to wet them, because that's what it looks like wet. And oh my God, that is just so gorgeous. Also by Sydney Grace is in the shade Liberty. And I think this is actually, yes, oh my God, I almost dumped that everywhere. Did y'all see that? This is a loose glitter. So this, you kind of need a glitter primer for, and that's kind of where I get in my head with these. Like, is this really worth it? See, I don't think this is worth it. I think I might get rid of this. I just won't do stuff like that. And that got everywhere. Everywhere. So this one is by Naked Cosmetics, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I'll tell you as soon as I turn it back around. You guys can see I like this. I have used an ass ton of this product, so I'm going to swatch it right here. Tell me how beautiful that is. It's kind of duochrome, blue to red, silvery purple. So pretty. And I know that you guys aren't getting the full effect of it on the screen, but oh my God, it's just so gorgeous. I love it so, so much. Mother Nature is what it is called, and it is fabulous. And this one is by Lenny, and this one is in the shade Byron Bay. This also came to me from IPSY, and you guys, where am I going to put this? Let's put it up here. Also, just gorgeous. You guys see these? I know the lighting. The lighting is what the lighting is. Okay, look, you guys. I'm actually pretty excited, because all of these used to take up this end part of this, and now we've got all of our pigments just in this one spot. These are my KVD Metal Crush shadows, and I love these suckers, so none of these are going anywhere. This one is in Raw Power, and it is a red. They just go on so well. This one has like this orangey, like fire red shade to it, and it is just gorgeous. Then I have this one here. I don't think I have used this one. This one is in the shade Iggy, And it is just a beautiful green, like almost tealy green. Look at gorgeous, right? This one is in Static Age, and it is a beautiful, like almost powdery blue silver. Then this one, which is in Thunderstruck, and this is like a cult favorite, or was a cult favorite for a long, long time. That is it. It's kind of this like white gold. So pretty. And then this one, Chartreuse in color. It is called Electric Warrior. This is a beautiful inner corner shadow. This is the easier version of that MAC pigment right there. So I thought about getting rid of that MAC pigment, honestly, but I think it's just slightly different. I think it's slightly less opaque, which makes it also amazing. So those are my KVD Metal Crush shadows. And then I have these, like, I don't know necessarily that you would call them glitters. They're just shiny, sparkly beautifulness. This one is by Marc Jacobs. This is one of his sequins. And this one is in the shade Glam Noir. It is a kind of a black. Look at how pretty that is. It's just like a charcoal, like the Stila Glitter and Glows, but not as fall out centric. Also a Marc Jacobs sequin. This one is in the shade Topaz Flash. They just, like, man, there's just something about them that are just eye-catching and brilliant on an eye look. This is by Lorac. You know, I just can't even remember what this is called by Lorac, but the shade of it is Lace. This is actually what it looked like when it came to me, and because of the nature of it, like, I didn't repress it, because as you move your finger around in it, it kind of moves everything back together. It's just a really pretty champagne. I would say it's less a glitter than some of the other ones, but so shiny and sparkly on an eye look. This one is by Ciate London, and this one came to me in an IPSY, actually. I've swatched it, I do believe, but I don't think I've tried it on my eyes, so I'm not really certain how this looks on an eye look. Look at how just beautiful and purple that is. It's just gorgeous, and it's got like chunks in the component. There are chunks of like silver around in there. This one is by Mellow Cosmetics, and this is a glitter chrome eyeshadow in the shade Champagne. I don't think I've put this one on my eye either, but look at how pretty that is. Just so pretty. They're just smooth. They're just so smooth, and on an eye look, they're beautiful. They look much better if you use your finger to apply, and I'm just not a finger kind of person. If you had nails, there would be like absolutely no way that you'd be able to do it. This one is by Tarte, and this one came to me also in a Tarte Make Your Own kit. This one is called a Chrome Paint, and it is in the shade Martini, and it is a little bit more kind of a bronzy antique gold that also has a nice green shadow color to it. These two were part of MAC's Christmas, I think 2019 collection. They are the Spellbinder shadows, and this one is in Stairs to the Stars, and this one is in Swing on a Star. One of them is more red and one of them is more blue, but look at how beautiful this is. I don't like much from MAC, but what I do like from MAC I like a lot. I wasn't really interested in these until I went into the store and a MAC artist pulled one out and tapped it over the top of the eye look I was wearing, and then I fell in love. And why I don't wear these more, I don't know, but you can see, like, even me running my finger over the top of it, it didn't take away kind of like that velveteen look to them. They're meant to just be tapped over the top of something, not necessarily swipe, but they're just such a really pretty, almost no base kind of glitter. God, they're so pretty. So there's this red one, which, like I said, is Stairs to the Stars. And then there's this one, which is Swing on a Star. Looks black when you put it on an eye look. It does darken up the eye look because of its black base, but I don't know if you guys can see the blue and green glitter in that. I had a blue and green eye look going on, and she put this over the top of my blue and green eye look, and I died. And the more you tap on, the more opaque it gets with that glitter. None of these guys is leaving this collection. We got rid of 8 potted single shadows. We opened up a hell of a lot of room in these containers. I don't think that we'll ever end up with more in these containers, but it gives me an opportunity to shift some things around. Like, I know I have a couple of liquid highlighters or cream highlighters that I could put in here because I wear them more as eyeshadows than I do as anything else. I wish these kind of would fit over there, but they won't. They won't fit back here, but I don't know. I kind of like how it's all situated in here. That's what I got for you. I hope that you guys enjoyed this walk through all of my single potted eyeshadows. I'm super happy to be getting rid of the 8 that I just don't think I will ever use. With that said, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope that if you did, you'll give it a thumbs up. You'll subscribe before you go. If you liked it, please do subscribe. I will have a bunch of these going out into my channel over the next several weeks, and I would love for you guys to get a glimpse of my collection. I do hope that you guys are staying safe out there. I hope that you and yours are healthy. I hope that you are loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye, friends. I forgot these because they're still in the box, and they're still in the box because they're from the Hello Kitty collection with ColourPop, and I collect Hello Kitty, so I had zero intention of taking these out of their box. So I'm actually going to pull these out of my collection because I won't use them. They're glitters. You guys heard, these are about as close as I get to a glitter I will use anywhere on my body, like a glitter. And these won't see any use. So I'm going to pull these out, and I'm going to go stick them in the corner of my beauty room that contains all of my Hello Kitty collection. So I'm going to technically declutter these out of my collection because they're not going to get any use. So I just wanted to show them on screen. These are 4 glitters by ColourPop for the Hello Kitty collection. And they are in Twinkle Me, Cozy Glow, Ice Sparkle, and Skate Date, and I'm just not sure which is which, but there's that.